You see something you want. Maybe it's a new phone. Maybe it's a couch. Maybe it's a jacket that's been sitting in your cart for 2 weeks. The price is $800. And then, just below it, 4 small words appear. Pay in 4, $200 every 2 weeks. Suddenly, $800 doesn't feel like $800 anymore. That moment, that shift in perception, is not an accident. It is a carefully engineered feature of a financial product called Buy Now, Pay Later, BNPL. The concept is simple. You buy something today, you pay for it in installments, usually 4 payments, often 0 interest, no credit card required. But here's what actually changes. You stop asking, "Can I afford $800?" and you start asking, "Can I afford $200 this week?" Those are 2 very different questions. One forces you to reckon with the full cost. The other makes the decision feel small, manageable, almost trivial. And that is exactly what the system is designed to do. If you've ever wondered how BNPL companies make money when they're offering you 0% interest, the answer is they're not making it from you, not directly. Merchants pay. When a retailer integrates services like Afterpay, Klarna, or Affirm at checkout, they pay the BNPL company a fee, usually somewhere between 2% and 8% of the sale. That's significantly higher than a credit card processing fee, but merchants pay it willingly because the data shows one thing very clearly. When BNPL is offered, people spend more. Cart sizes grow, abandonment rates fall, impulse decisions feel safer. It's a trade the merchant is happy to make. And then there are late fees. The 0% interest is real if every payment is made on time. Miss a payment and the economics shift. Fees appear. Sometimes the interest rate resets dramatically. The exact rules vary by provider, but the model assumes that a percentage of users will miss at least one payment. And finally, data. BNPL companies accumulate a detailed picture of what you buy, when you buy it, and how you respond to different payment options. That information has enormous value, and it doesn't stay unused. There's a concept in behavioral economics called mental accounting. It describes the way people assign different weight to the same amount of money, depending on how it's framed. $100 spent feels different depending on whether you spend it all at once or across 4 weeks. The math is identical. The psychology is not. BNPL works because smaller payments don't trigger the same hesitation that a large upfront payment does. It's not that people are reckless, it's that the framing genuinely changes how the brain processes cost. And here's where it compounds. BNPL is rarely used for just one purchase. You use it for the jacket, then the laptop, then the holiday booking. Each payment feels manageable in isolation. $40 here, $75 there, $90 somewhere else. But they don't live in isolation. They stack. The risk with Buy Now, Pay Later isn't that any single purchase is wrong. It's that the system makes it very easy to underestimate your total obligations. Traditional credit card debt is visible. It shows up on a statement. One number, impossible to ignore. BNPL debt is fragmented. It lives across different apps, different companies, different due dates. There's no single statement that says, "Here is everything you owe." Research in multiple markets has found that a significant portion of BNPL users have more active plans running simultaneously than they actually realize. Not because they're irresponsible, because the system doesn't make the total visible. And when income dips, even slightly, multiple small obligations suddenly feel very large. From a retailer's perspective, BNPL is one of the most powerful tools they've ever had access to. Studies consistently show that offering installment options at checkout can increase average order value by 30 to 50%. Think about what that means. A customer who was going to spend $200 might now spend $300, not because they planned to, because the payment structure made it feel possible. It also reduces cart abandonment, that moment when someone sees the final price and closes the tab. BNPL softens that moment. It keeps people moving through checkout who might otherwise have paused. This is why you're seeing it everywhere. Fashion retailers, furniture stores, airline bookings, electronics, even grocery checkouts. The technology hasn't changed what people want. It has changed what people feel comfortable deciding. Buy now, pay later didn't emerge from nowhere. It's part of a longer arc. For decades, modern financial systems have been moving in one consistent direction: make spending easier, make payment feel distant, reduce the friction between impulse and transaction. First, it was credit cards, then contactless payments, then one-click checkout, now BNPL. Each step was introduced as convenience, and it is convenient, but each step also changed the relationship between a person and their money. When you tap a card, you don't count out cash. When you click to buy, you don't hand anything over. When you pay in full, you don't feel the full price. The sensation of spending has been quietly removed from the act of spending, and financial systems that profit from spending have a structural interest in keeping it that way. Buy now, pay later is not inherently a trap. Used deliberately, it can be a flexible tool, a way to spread the cost of something you genuinely need without paying interest. But the way it's designed, the placement, the language, the ease, it nudges behavior in a very specific direction, toward more purchases, larger ones, more often. That's not a conspiracy, that's just a business model. The question worth sitting with is whether the decision you're making is entirely yours, or whether it's been made a little easier for you by a system with its own interests in mind. Not easier in a neutral sense, easier in a particular direction. That's the part worth noticing.